Hello and welcome to the Heed Army Podcast Live. As the title says above this video or below it, depends where you're watching it, the season starts here. You wouldn't have thought how long it would be before we'd be back ready for the season to start normally with fans there, but that is what is happening this weekend. If you're travelling down to Leamington, please let us know what you're excited about. Of course, just being at a game, I'm sure is the big one, but it should be an exciting game down there. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Also as well tonight, we've got three guests. We've got assistant manager Ian Watson joining us. We've got player coach Lewis Story as well. And we've got new signing the goalkeeper Jacob Chapman as well. The second Australian goalkeeper, I believe, that we've had in our ranks after Alex Baird. So must be something that we're doing to attract these Aussies to come to Gateshead. So we're looking forward to speaking to him and welcoming him to the Heed. And Mickey, say you must be as excited as me for the start of the season.
I can't wait. I'm actually going.
I know I'm very
9 o'clock start.
Yeah. Be a good day out. Let's hope the football doesn't spoil it. Just before we go any further, a massive apology that we haven't been on the past 2 weeks. So it was, my son was really bad with a chest infection on antibiotics, so that took precedent. And then a week later, my mum was bad, got took into hospital, and then I got tonsillitis as well on top of that. So, but we're back semi-fighting fit. I've still got a little tickle in the throat, but you don't care. You don't care, I know. So we'll say it's fully interactive. If you haven't joined us before, you can message us on whatever platform you're doing, like Mason Ford has done here. Even gentlemen, hope you're well and looking forward to the start of the season, National League and the Prem weekend as well. Well, who cares about the Prem weekend? Charles Waff is put good evening, lads, and David Trump. Lads, excited for the season ahead. So if you want to message us like that, you can do that. As well as say, there's one little bit of news. Well, as I say, just before we came on air, a bit of a teaser from the club. They put their a video up with an insight to pre-season and an interview with Mike Williamson, and at the end it cuts off a bit like I'm saying, like Dallas. It just left you hanging on a cliff edge with the question of retirement, and then we've got a very handsome Mike Williamson going, well, and then it cuts off. So tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, get on all Gateshead FC social media. There'll be links to that. I'm sure it'll be a fantastic watch. So there we go. But Mickey, as I say, really excited, as I said before, and messages are flooding in. But you're going down. I obviously want to win, but I think just having fans at a normal game is the biggest victory of all so far.
Just getting the friendlies. The friendlies have been absolutely fantastic. But to be actually at a league game, I just can't wait. And obviously, you've got Keeper in the week after at home. I just can't wait. I really can't wait just to be back in. And there's something on it. The friendlies were great, but there's nothing on a friendly.
Yeah.
Whereas you're fighting for 3 points. Excitement is unreal.
Certainly is. Well, Gordon is looking forward to seeing this on the 21st. Of course, that's the Kettering game. Train spotting with Luke is Mr. Luke. He's changed his name. Just want to know, it's me, Mr. Luke. I changed my name for a new YouTube channel I'm releasing. Well, there we go. So if you're into train spotting, Mr. Luke's your man. So there we go. We'll give that a plug when he gets his first video up. But right, before we go any further, we've got to say a big thank you to our sponsors, Northern Print Solutions, who are just where we got there, just down there. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do this. And say we're going to quickly play a little advert for them. We are going to get a new advert for Northern Print Solutions to showcase what they can do. But this is a thank you to our sponsors. Yes, and please do follow them on social media. And of course, as well, you might notice we've got the new intro, which we put out this morning, on the beginning of the show. And of course, just above us here, we've got all the social media. So do look for Heed Army Podcast, like us on all of these platforms. And of course, subscribe, because that helps us reach more people on the algorithms and things like that. So that's what we want. We want more Gateshead fans interacting, and that's what it is all about. And if you're just joining us, we are going to be having Ian Watson, Lewis Story, and Jacob Chapman join us live on the show. And We've got a message from 1 second. Joe, sorry, that's the one I want to go to. We all love the heat. We do.
Joe.
Who's down Leamington has put Liam Burbick. Well, say if you're going down, why not give us a message on here and we'll give you a shout out. It should be an absolutely fantastic game. But the biggest
tickets on the phone and all, Dave.
Yeah, well, you can actually, I think there has been news that you can actually buy tickets on the gate as well. But I presume it's safer to get them before you go, before you travel, so you know you're going to get in, just in case there's a mass exodus from Gateshead of fans travelling down. But one other little thing as well was brought to our attention, that Lee Novak has retired. We wish him all the best. He's not on social media, so it is quite hard to get a hold of him. We will endeavour to do so. We'd love to get him on the show, but you know, we'll do what we can. As I say, he hasn't got a social media presence. It's a bit hard to try and reach out, but we'll try and put some irons in the fire and hopefully get onto that. But Mickey, since we've been off, there's been 2 friendlies. Of course, the impressive win against Newcastle. I wasn't at that one, sadly. I wasn't able to cover that. But you went down to South Shields and first defeat in pre-season. But you know, it wasn't the strongest side put out, was it, defensively?
Defense, no. I think it was only Louis Story and Robbie Tinkler, trialist. And then you've had Owen Bailey. I'm not sure where Owen Bailey plays. I'm sure he's a midfielder. So it didn't have the strongest back 4. But it's a good run out. Really good run out. Second half, Shields were the better team. Got 2 goals. Deserved it for me.
Yeah.
There's a few good songs sung by the Heat Army down there. Like 1-0 to your former team, and you're just a bust up in Jarrow. It was a good bit banter, and I enjoyed the game. And yeah, Shields deserved it in the second half, but jumping around as if they'd won their FA Cup final at the end. I'm thinking.
I did notice that on social media that they were posting photos like they had just got through to a cup final. All the players celebrating on the pitch and embracing each other. And I'm like, well, I'm not being funny. We could have done that when we beat Hartlepool or a football league side, but if it meant that much to them, more power to you. To be honest, it's pre-season friendly.
Pre-season friendly, and I'm going to say one thing, Dave. The people who were on the gates and things like that, really friendly people.
Yeah, that's a lovely thing. We've got a few things here. We've got I'll second that, Michael. James is doing a brilliant job. Well, I haven't get round to the right message there. James Rushmore, we have been planning to have him on for the last 3 weeks, mixed goodies, but just want to say what an amazing job James Rushmore is doing. The number of companies getting behind the club is amazing off the pitch. This is the most professional I think the club has ever been, and that is what we were wanting to do with James. The problem is you would tell us about
not that many.
You would tell us about a few potential things that we're going to hopefully get over the line. Like, well, we'll get you on, we'll talk about it, and also as well give the companies a shout out. Welcome to the Gateshead family, because we appreciate as fans that these companies that are getting behind us, and we want to show that. And hopefully, fans and people that are watching will echo those sentiments while we're talking about them companies, and them companies can see that. But James is so busy, and he's got that many irons in the fire. Every time I say to him, are you going to come on this week? We'll get all the logos up of the companies while we're talking about them, give them a good push, and a thank you. And he said, I've got another one coming over the line. I need to get that one. So basically, hopefully next week, unless he's got another 20 going across the line, we'll hopefully get him on, talk about what he's managed to do, what he's working on in the future, because James, he's a lovely lad, but he never stops. And you can see that with the results of what he's done so far. So hopefully we'll get James Rushmore on next week, and we'll be talking about the achievements he's done. And who knows, we might even try and get a live show from the Time Bank Brewery with free booze for us.
Oh,
I'm just talking rubbish there. That'll never happen, but you never know.
Or from the Dixon's Bakery, or just stuff us with pies.
Oh yeah. I'd take a pasty or a pint. I'm easy. Yeah, of course. Owen Bailey is a centre back. He's another player that's signed since we haven't been on as well. Big welcome to him. We'll get him on in a few weeks. Right. Yeah, so look forward to getting him in. on the show and welcome the Heed family. And right, we've got here a first season following the Heed, went to the under-23 game against Newcastle and South Shields, and all booked up for Leamington Heed Army. So, well, yes,
Excellent.
glad you're enjoying the game.
Liam.
That's what it's all about, and you're interacting. So tell your friends, get them interacting as well, and drag them down to a game. That's what it's all about. And if we play anything like we have done in pre-season, they cannot be anything but impressed. And, well, Joe has put a message about seeing the video before Mike Williamson possibly announcing retirement tomorrow. There's an announcement on Twitter. I would imagine he might be still playing this season. I think this might be his last season. That's how I would hazard a guess. Because he's been playing a lot through pre-season. So, and who ate all the pies chanted at the stadium. So was that one sang there? Was it Mickey? Or was it chanted at you?
No, there was a few. Let's all laugh at Fatty, one of the Shields fans.
Thought it might have been Graham Fenton there. We've got a message there. Good evening, looking forward to a positive start of the season. Yeah, I just can't wait. As I say, it's going to be nice.
And it's just 18 months. I haven't been to a proper Gateshead match for 18 months. Maybe it's more, David.
Yeah.
I've missed it so much. I just can't wait.
It's going to be exciting. I can't wait to be able to commentate on a competitive game with fans there as well, because of what a difference it makes. Like when we played Hartlepool, on the highlights and stuff, it just it felt like a football match, and it's just really, really good. And well, train spotting with Luke. I'm not going to Lemon because I have a week off from football to get some videos done. Well, there we go. He's dedicated to his new channel. That's the way to do it. 1 second. Will there be selling tickets on the day of the 21st of August on the turnstile? No, you'll have to go down. I would imagine, like pre-season with a couple of games, they might have the ticket office open. If not, try and ask a friend to give them the money and try and get them to book your ticket online. That might be the only other way to do it if you're unable to do it. But maybe
I'd be very surprised.
Maybe email the club and they should be able to help you. Well, we've got, I think Ian's ready to join us very shortly. I don't think his camera's on at the minute. We'll just play a quick advert while we wait for that to happen. And this is what you should be doing.
Hello, everybody. Remember to like and subscribe and share the show.
And as if by magic, the beautiful man's here himself. Hello, Ian. How are you doing?
Oh, thanks. Oh, we're busted.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah. Can you hear us?
I can't hear yous.
You can't hear us? Oh, no. I'm doing anything.
I can't hear anything.
Can't hear anything.
I tried unmuting it, but it's not.
Maybe log back out. We'll see if we can send you a message on the chat thing here. I'll just turn around. 1 second. We'll try and get a log back out.
No, I can't hear anything.
There we go. Hopefully you can see that on the chat, the private chat. There we go. Well, hopefully we can get Ian to not got anything at all. The headphones in properly. The magic of a pod. Just pull them out. Pull the earphones out of the machine. Can you hear us now?
Still can't hear anything. I can't. It said unmuted.
No, he's muted himself there. You can't hear us at all.
No, I can't hear anything.
Nightmare. Oh well, that's unfortunate. We'll probably just we'll end it there and we'll be all right. If you can't hear us, or try logging back in. I'm going to write on a piece of paper, log back in, and then we'll see what happens once. Log back in. Let's see if you can see that there. We'll go. Oh, he's disappeared as I do it.
That's something.
Yeah, well, did you get it up before us? Did you? There we go. The magic of a live show. So, as I say, you cannot plan for it. It's just one of them things. Hopefully, if he logs back in, he may be able to hear us. If not, it's just a bit of a shame, isn't it?
It's on the ring.
It's looking forward to talking to him. Yeah, we might have to. We'll switch on the phone. and then I'll see if I can tweet him the actual the number to ring. Isn't that just unfortunate? But if you've got your messages to send in, please do. We'd love you to do that. Getting obviously with lots of messages and lots of viewers at the minute, which is really, really nice. And can't thank you all enough. And well, say that threw us a loop, a bit of a shame, but right. As well, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier on about the under-16s. They won the Foundation of Light tournament, I believe, this today. So well done to the under-16s. There'll be there is. It seems that the progression throughout the club is continuing, and nice to see the young lads start the season off with a good win.
Just adds to the feel-good factor, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and I think there's been a few players as well of obviously been training with the first team as well. Other ones that aren't. There we go. 1 second. Just copying this number to send to them. See if we can get it. If you can ring us. I know this makes great podcast watching. Apologies, everybody. We've got a message here. 1 second. There we go. If you don't have a season ticket, can you purchase on the gate the first game? I'm not sure. I think it has to be done online.
Online, or they might open the ticket office for a couple of days to buy tickets. Don't quote us on that, Craig. Well, I surmise that might happen.
Right, I'll send him a message that CVCs that you may be able to ring us if you can. If not, we'll unfortunately might not be able to speak to Ian Watson, which is a shame.
I can't pick him up, Dave.
Technical difficulty.
Live podcast from the car.
Yeah, and the number 14 for us who was on trial was Luke Williams, ex-Hartlepool. Well, hopefully, I think we might have Ian joining us back here at the moment. It's got devices not connected. Hopefully, he might get on in a minute and he can hear us. So, yeah. Well, there we go. Just try and get Ian on. Well, just play an advert and hopefully he'll be able to get in with us and on the show. And I say, 1 second, I didn't put the banner up on the bottom there. So this will tell you everything that's happening on the show. If you are just joining us, and well, as I say, this is what you should be doing from. Hang on. 1 second. Hello there, Ian. How are you doing?
I'm all good. Sorry about that. It wasn't working. I couldn't hear anything.
It's all right. Just one of them things. Welcome to the show. I say welcome back. It's always a pleasure to have you on. You must be absolutely buzzing that we've got the start of the season proper now with where it means something with the fans there.
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to see it came around quick, but no, it seems like a really long time since we've had a competitive game with fans in as well. It's just can't remember the last time we had it, to be fair. So yeah, there's a real buzz around the club. Obviously, we've had a really good pre-season. Obviously, the fans back in the stadium was massive for us. I think it gave the lads a bit of a buzz, and then South Shields on Saturday having sort of away fans there and it being a bit hostile. Was a really good experience for a lot of our boys who some of them haven't played in front of a crowd before. So no, it was really good. Everything's really positive, and everyone's buzzing for Saturday now.
And is it now a case of having the headache of who do you start on, or have you already got a good idea of who you're going to have in the starting lineup?
Well, obviously we're carrying a few injuries at the minute, but we've got a good sized squad which we knew we'd need in terms of things with COVID and picking up injuries and stuff like that. We felt we'd be leaving ourselves short if we didn't go for a sort of a fairly biggish squad. You know what I mean? It's not huge, but it's biggish, and we've got some good young players there. So we're pretty much decided on what we're going with on Saturday. But the lads have been brilliant, and they've all give us headaches. Which is a good thing, and when them injured players come back, there's going to be even more headaches, which is what we want. I think if you do have selection sort of issues, but it's the right issues where everyone's chomping at the bit to get in, and everyone's bringing sort of a positivity to the group, then that's what you want. It's when you're scratching your head of who to play to try and get things right where problems might come. But no, it's definitely the other way for us, where everyone's sort of doing the bit to push for a starting place. And it's that competitiveness within the squad which is really hopefully going to push us on this year.
And you mentioned obviously that it's a younger squad this year, and obviously it's your third season now where you sort of been obviously the squad that we had always started off with. We got a squad together and managed to keep a hold of a good few players. The second season, of course, it was strange circumstances with no fans and still building the squad. Obviously, I know it's never a never-ending process of building a squad and a team, but are you anywhere near towards the foundations where you wanted to be when you first took over the team?
I would say so, yeah. I mean, in terms of when Mike and myself first took over, I remember we were sat in a Starbucks with just a blank bit of paper and a pen, and we were just writing down all available players because we literally didn't have any. Obviously, we were going to try and get some of the boys who'd been with us previously. Their names were on the list, and then we were literally just looking around for who was available. If I'm honest with you, we were getting knockback after knockback from a lot of players because there was no players, there was no base. So a lot of players were saying, like, obviously we were interested, but you haven't got any players at the minute, so we're not going to come to a club where there's no players.
Yeah.
So we had to sort of take a step back and be realistic about what we could do. As a club, really, from Neil all the way down, we had to be sort of realistic of what type of players we could attract and what we need to do to get the club back up to where it needs to be. And this is sort of the first year where in the summer we've been inundated with players wanting to come to Gateshead. Everyone at the club wants to be there. They were contacting us to see if there's any availability for people to come in. Anyone who's came in training is wanting to be a part of it. Luke Williams and a couple of other trialists who've came in have said that they've really enjoyed being part of training, which is good for us. When we do get trialists in, that they enjoy it and they enjoy the environment. And we've got a really strong squad now. And I'm not going to be disrespectful to anyone who's previously been at the club and say it's the strong list or anything like that, because the proof will be in the pudding. But we've managed to put together a really strong squad of players who we've tried to get now for maybe a couple of seasons, and we've managed to get them players in now. So in terms of the full squad, we're looking really strong. But as I say, nothing's sort of being proved or anything yet. So we start our hard work and we just come in every day and make sure that we work as hard as we possibly can, and we'll try and get off to a good start Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned obviously the proof will be in the pudding, but there's a lot of proof in the pudding so far of the hard work that yourself, Ian, and yourself and the gaffer have done, along with everybody else. That behind the scenes, that players are wanting to come to this club now to try and earn a place rather than I'll get it's an option. Now they're fighting to impress when they come on trial.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, going back to when me and Mike sat in the coffee shop, and we said, what do we want to create? And we wanted to create an environment where people enjoy coming. And we felt that if we able to create that environment, we'll be able to get the best out of the players who do come in, and we'll be able to attract players who aren't at the club who we want to get in. And that's exactly what we've done. To be fair, the environment in the stadium every day is brilliant. We've got a great group of players. We've got obviously a lot of staff behind the scenes working tirelessly. As a management team, we work tirelessly as well. So it is all positive at the minute. In terms of we've created something that we wanted to, but we're not close to where we want to be as a club. We want to get up the leagues, but to do that we have to improve every single day as a club, as individuals, and that's something that we just strive to do, really. And as soon as we stop doing that, then there'll be problems. So we have to keep pushing every single day and know that we're nowhere near where we want to be, but every day we're getting closer to there.
I'll ask one more question before I let Mickey ask you one. You mentioned obviously that you're striving to obviously improve all the time, but you've improved the club's reputation with loan players that have come in. Nearly every player has done very well that's come in, and obviously the likes of Coyote and goalkeepers nearly said Ainsley Pears. There's Brad James. They've went on to bigger and better things. Has approaching clubs to talk about loans become a little bit easier now with your track record and obviously the way you have set the team out to play and the work ethic?
Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons that we got Chappie, the goalkeeper. To be honest, there was a few clubs in for Chappie, but the goalkeeper coach at Huddersfield sort of identified the way we play football. You know, we like to play out from the goalkeeper. We like our goalkeeper involved with how we play, and that was one of the reasons why we got Chappie over other clubs. And you know, sometimes it's difficult to get loans when you're in this league, because the players who are at clubs, they all want to get league experience. Obviously, they don't really grasp the fact you have to sort of tick leagues off, and this is a really competitive league, and it's a good standard for them. And you know, you've just got to look at the examples that you mentioned earlier. That the proof is in the pudding for that. You need to go out, get games under men's football, and then earn your right to go to league football on loan. But I think the problem that we do have, probably now in our day, is the fact that agents will try and tell the players that they need to be going to league football. And sometimes, you know, this is just my opinion, but sometimes they're not advising the players correctly on what to do. Because lads should be going out and getting games, you know, once they've hit the peak with the 23s football, and that's not challenging them anymore. They need to get used to playing against men. They need to get used to sort of having something on the line where winning or losing a game can sort of make or break your weekend, you know, and it really means something. There's lads got mortgages to pay for and stuff like that. And it's jobs at the end of the day, and I think lads going out on loan can get that experience and identify with that before they go and play for whoever they're coming from on loan. So I think sometimes it is hard for the players when they're getting told by agents that, you know, go and play league football, get your experience there. But it's so hard to play league football now. There's thousands and thousands of players that want to play league football with league football experience. Okay. So these young players, they need to go out and get games with clubs like Gateshead. You know, we provide an unbelievable platform. I mean, the amount of players that we've had over the years, you know, you look at the last 10 years, we've had sort of Taverniers and people like that. And now look where they are. It is a really, really good experience for players to come out and get games. And I can't recommend it highly enough for players all over to go and find the club and get men's football under your belt before you look for league football.
Definitely. And Mickey, I'll let you pop some questions.
Well, so, you finished in the transfer market by any chance, Ian?
Well, we're always. I would never say we're finished, because we're always looking. If anything that we feel that can improve the group, then we will look to bring them in. You know, I think we've been really, really good in the market this year. We've done a lot of our business really early, and it's one of them where you do your business early. It's like, are you going to miss out on things that become available later down the line? But we were really lucky this year in terms of the players that came available early were players that we'd already wanted anyways. So even if we didn't really want to wait, they were the players that we wanted, so we brought them in. And obviously, you know, you never know what's gonna pop up in terms of players getting released. I think I read a stat the other day. There's still 700 players who were professional footballers last year who were without clubs. So you know, you've still got to keep an eye out on what's going on. But we're really, really happy with the boys and the work they're doing at the minute. And obviously, if we feel the need to strengthen, then we will. If the boys perform, then there'll be no need to.
Definitely.
So there was no late rush in for Messi. No. Or were you happy with Greg?
No, we wouldn't swap Greg for the world.
No, he's our Messi. We've got a few messages exactly. That's come through. Luke, he's put, Ian, where do you think Gateshead will realistically finish this year, and how good is it to have the fans back for the players?
Sorry, what was that? Where we realistically finish this year?
I think I know what the answer is, as high as possible. Yeah,
of course. I mean, you know, you get asked this question a lot, and it's the same for any club. On a Friday night, you always fancy yourself to win the game on a Saturday. Always, no matter who you're playing, if you're playing top of the league or you're playing bottom of the league or whatever it is, you always think on a Friday night, right, well, we've done our homework, we fancy to win that, we want to win that game tomorrow, and we believe that we can. Because if you don't believe that you can win a game, there's no point in playing it. So in terms of that, you believe that you can win every game. So realistically, I see us as high up as possible, you know, and it's just important that we take literally every day as it comes, every training session, and then every match day, and we're not looking too far ahead. But yeah, like realistically, we've got a really good squad. It's going to be a really competitive squad in a competitive league. We know the financial sort of giants in the league have really strengthened this year. I mean, you look at the signings York, Fylde, Boston have made, and then you've got Spennymoor, who have, for me, their strength is in keeping their pack together, which is what they've done. So it's really competitive, but do I believe that we're better than all them on our day? Yeah, of course I do. I really believe that. So it's up to us to make sure that we turn up every day and pick as many points up as we possibly can.
We've got
and then sorry, go on.
We've got another quick one here. This one's from Mick Scully. He's put, does Ian eventually have ambitions to be a manager in his own right?
To be honest, I'm in such a lucky position at the minute where I'm learning off Mike every single day. That's on and off the field, to be honest. He's like a real mentor for me. So it's not really something I think about. I kind of look at it where Mike, myself, Chris, and now Louis, we're kind of on a journey ourselves in a kind of group, and we want to be successful all together. So I mean, obviously, you never see never, and you never know where you're going to tail off to and stuff like that. But at the moment, I'm just really, really lucky to be sort of number two to like a young upcoming manager who has the sky's the limit for Mike. If we're honest, I mean, he's brilliant. He's got the background. He's played in the Premier League. He's unbelievable. He leaves no stone unturned. So. The sky's the limit for Mike, and I'm just grateful that at the minute I get the chance to learn off him, and I've obviously been around under some really good managers as well, where you pick up some good traits, and I've played for managers where you pick up good traits and bad traits, but we'll see. But at the minute, our full focus is just on working as a team together, and trying to get Gateshead promotions and see where we can take this club, because it means a lot to us, to be fair. So. Yeah. At the minute, we're just focused on trying to get Gateshead as high as we possibly can. That's
fantastic. And we've got one last message. This is from Charles Waff. He's put, I love to hear Ian Watson's cabaret from the dugout. The poor linesman gets stick constantly. It's so funny at times to hear. Should we arrange a documentary where we'll make you up on the touchline just so we can play it out one day on the podcast?
Definitely not. No.
Oh, you bottler!
He could have been the new Warner, couldn't he?
Every game, I see before every game, I'm not going to get on the line from the day, and I'm not going to get on the rep. And as soon as the whistle goes, I can't help myself. I can't hide my emotions on the sideline. You try and tell yourself when you're a player, if I am a coach, what kind of coach will I be? Will I be cool, collective on the side, or I mean, probably most people know, but I'm a huge fan of Jurgen Klopp. He's kind of my go-to person that I study, and the likes of Bielsa and people like that.
But there's one thing Jurgen Klopp hasn't got. See, when I'm up at the commentary position, I can see your quiff shake with anger, and I know it's bad from the dugout.
I'm just going to say you lucky get. I wish I had a quiff.
Yeah.
It's going. It hasn't got long left. I know that.
Oh, I'm losing it at the back here, and it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
It takes me ages to wash my face. It starts in the middle of a heat.
Ian, thank you very much. Sorry about the technical difficulties.
No, it's a pleasure.
And I say, hopefully, we'll speak to you throughout the season. And
brilliant.
All the best.
Perfect. Enjoy. Thanks now.
Cheers. Thank you.
Perfect. See you then. Bye now.
Bye.
Take care.
There we go. Let's say a lovely lad is busted. We've got Lewis Story waiting in the wings. He's switched his camera off, so we'll wait for him to switch it back on. Hopefully he'll be with us very, very shortly. There he is. He's back, and we'll bring him in here. So Lewis, a belated welcome to Gateshead. Say, how are you enjoying it so far?
Really enjoying my time since joining the group over a month ago for the start of pre-season. The group is full of hard work and humble people, which makes it so much easier to kind of embed myself into the group and feel a part of the club. So yeah, really enjoying it, and really looking forward to the season ahead.
Yeah, and of course, not just on the playing side, on the coaching side as well. Are you enjoying that aspect of it as well?
Loving it. Coaching and playing has been my trade for the last 5-6 years. So being able to combine it together at the same football club is a new challenge, obviously at this level. is something that I'm really relishing, and I love the challenge each and every day of trying to prepare the group for the best performance while trying to achieve continuous development of each individual and as a group collectively. So yeah, no, it's great for me, and it came at a great time in my career, which I've been really relishing. A new challenge, an exciting challenge, which is gonna, I'm gonna learn from, I'm gonna make mistakes from, but hopefully, enjoy success as well.
Well, you see, you mentioned about it being a new challenge, of course, back into full-time football. That must be a massive shot in the arm for you.
It's been brilliant. I would like to think that even though I left the full-time game nearly 8-9 years ago, after my time at Newcastle, my mentality and my standards probably didn't move away from that in whichever football club or working environment that I was involved with, whether that was, youth development phase, 16s below or above 16s, then at senior football. I feel as if that's continued all the way through. So to be able to get back into that environment, it feels a bit like home. And I think it's something that I thrive off, and I can hopefully contribute to make our football club a little bit better.
And of course, you've slotted into the defence and seem to have, got on really well with your teammates at the minute. There's a good understanding from front to back, not just in the defensive area of the team. Are you been surprised at how fluid the team is so far this early in pre-season?
Yes and no. So I think we were all a little bit probably surprised by the score lines in terms of when we've experienced them against Hartlepool and Newcastle 23s. But at the same time, that is just a reflection of the hard work that's happened on the pitch, the characters that we have a part of the group. Like I mentioned before, we've got hard-working lads who genuinely want to get better and genuinely want to give their all for the football club, which then just helps manifest this level of performance that we've seen in pre-season. The boys completely buy into the philosophy that Mike and that Busty is set, because they enjoy it, and also as well, I truly think everyone believes that it plays to our strengths, and it's our best course for success.
Well, I mean, the tempo that we've played at in pre-season, I know that obviously the big scoreline against Ashton, you would say yes, they're a team lower down, but the tempo right throughout that game, it was non-stop, as if we were 1-0 down all the way through, and that shows fantastic character of what yourself and Busted and the Gaffer have been able to install, and and make it second nature now that when we're out of possession, we hound the other side, obviously keep the shape, but we keep the pressure on when we don't have possession.
For sure. Something that I say to the group quite often is that we're going to outthink and outrun the opponents, whether that's in possession or out of possession. So we're going to work in play with a mad intensity, which we're going to try and sustain for as long as possible, for as much as possible throughout the season. But we're going to do that with the tactical edge in terms of picking the right times to go all the way, picking the right times to absorb some pressure, or whether that's in possession in terms of trying to get on the front foot and keeping the opposition penned in, or whether we want to manage the game and potentially look to just manoeuvre the ball and try and dictate play at a slow tempo. But you're right, it comes from a sheer intensity throughout everything we do, in and out possession, from the back to the front, and we've paved some real good foundations across pre-season to continue that into the season against any opponent, because it's an effective way of playing, which maximises our strengths as individuals and as a group collectively. And it's something, obviously, it's a philosophy that set from Mike and Busty from their time over the last couple of years and now into this season. It's something that's been, developing and continuing to progress, and it's something that we want to take forward even more. So it hopefully brings a lot of success, and it's enjoyable on the eye as well.
It certainly has been so far in pre-season. I mean, obviously we've been very creative, and obviously having Adam Campbell and Kedwin and McCauley's on fire as well. Paul Blackett as well. He's making life difficult for the manager to who he wants to start with up front. But I mean, we've created and scored some beautiful goals, but we've created goals out of nothing through the pressure, through the intensity. I mean, I think about 4 or 5 goals we've created out of just keeping on them and capitalizing on pressure that we've made the mistakes from the other side.
Yeah, that's absolute credit, especially to the boys at the front end of the pitch, making at times my life and the defender's life a little bit easier. But that's what we want. We want to score all type of goals. So we want, yes, of course, we want to score goals where we play the ball from the goalkeeper all the way through to the final third, create a goal scored opportunity and take it. But sometimes that's not always going to be available in terms of whether it's the surface of pitch, whether we're playing against a real good opposition, whether we're having a bit of an off day. And what we want to incorporate that we can now score all type of goals, stealing the ball off the guys on the front, counter-attacking, playing out from the back, whichever way it is. We want to have all these different dimensions to our game so that we can adapt our game. It doesn't matter which opposition we're playing against, because we really, you've named some of the guys we've got going forward. It's frightening the quality that we've got across the board, and it's a credit to the club in terms of bringing them players in so that we've got real strength and depth now, and brings that competition each and every day in training, which means that whoever gets them shirts have got to be on fire, and have got to be performing, and are going to give the best for Gateshead for each and every game.
Definitely. We've got a few messages from people that's watching. We'll play them we'll read them out shortly. But if Mickey's got any questions.
I was just going to say, Louis, doing yourself down, because I've heard some great things about your coaching as well, bud.
All right, thank you.
So, but I'm not just blowing smoke up your arse because you're here. It's just what I'm hearing. I'm just telling you.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
And there's no such thing as a player pre-season. Well, you're in the top 3 there, mate. You've done really well. You've come from heaven. None of us really, well, I didn't know what type of player you were, but you've really impressed a lot of fans. So I just thought I'd tell you that. I don't know if you heard your song on Saturday.
No, I don't think I did. No, I didn't catch it. Sorry.
You'll probably hear it properly at 11, I cannot sing it on here.
Yeah,
There's a few swear words in it, like.
We don't condone that. We've got a few messages here, and then I'll let Mickey ask you some more questions. We've got one from Mason Ford. What was it like playing in South Shields in the squad that won the 4 trophies in the 16-17 season?
It was pretty enjoyable. Obviously, being a younger player back then and still probably learning my trade, being able to play under so many players with the experience that the squad had. Obviously, the likes of Julio and John Shaw, who's obviously been at this football club, Craig Baxter, and then players that played a little bit lower but for many years and been successful. It was a great learning curve for me as a younger player, and I take a lot of what I experienced across that season, which has really contributed to me kicking on, seeing how they conducted themselves, seeing how they applied themselves, and being able to experience competing on 4 fronts across a season is pretty unique. So it was
at any level, amazing
for sure. And it doesn't matter what level it is, to be that consistent for how many games it would have been, maybe 60, 70 games. It was a fantastic time in my career. Something that I look back with fond memories, and like I say, great learning curves, which is, I'm sure has contributed to where I am now.
I've talked about great memories. We've got another message here from Luke. He's how did it feel winning the FA Vase with Heaven? Watched you lifting the trophy. Historic day for the club. I'd imagine that was just amazing and fantastic.
Yeah, no, listen, it was probably my best footballing moment of my career so far. Being obviously on that stage and representing the football club, and I think it's obviously what it represented to me personally, which was an achievement of a goal that was set out 3 years before when I first joined Hebden Town, buying into what the club was trying to do, the new path and vision it had for the football club. And I was a part of that right from the start. And then to get that within 3 years was incredible. And it was something on a personal note. I was involved with South Shields when they didn't play. So it was a great experience. But, wanting to, I think any player would obviously want that final bit where you're playing and you've played a good part in the final itself, because it's such a spectacle. And I set that challenge to myself after the first time with South Shields. So it was an unreal day of a great sense of achievement and an unbelievable experience. So yeah, it was.
And of course, you played with another Gateshead fan favourite in Graham Armstrong, and as he was green, he didn't look his age playing last season. I had the pleasure of covering doing a commentary on a couple of the FA Vals games from last season.
Yeah,
and as I say yourself, you're good, great in them games. But as I say, Graham Armstrong playing up front at his age, holding the ball up by himself. Just unbelievable. And as I say, happy retirement when we hope to get him on. But as I say, it must have been nice playing with him, because every club he was at, he was successful and scored goals.
Yeah, he's a really, really good friend of mine, Army. We both joined Hebben at the same time, and I wish him the happiest of retirement. I know he's enjoying it this moment in time. I'm going to get him on a few runs with me soon. His honeymoon period's just about to come to an end. But the quality that Graham has and had to the age that he played to is just, it's an absolute credit to him. He's someone that I really learned off as a person and as a footballer, someone that I seen as a bit of a mentor, to be honest with you, because it seemed as if when we all had these little hiccups along the way, he'd been there and he'd done it, and he'd give great advice. So he was an unbelievable character off the pitch for the lads to look up to and say, at this age and where he's been and what he's done, he still conducts himself in that way. Any player that played with him in the last 3-4 years, you couldn't get a better role model. And then that was just then matched with the absolute quality that he brought on the pitch. He was an absolute goal machine, and holding the ball up, taking batterings off centre backs.
He was a war horse. He took a good few thumps in the game that I covered, and he didn't snap, didn't react.
He just put his body on the line for the cause, and even his movement off the ball. He's still be able to stretch players in behind. I'm sure it probably doesn't get mentioned enough. But yeah, a legend at Hebben in terms of what he achieved and what the goals he scored. And that was obviously on the back of an unbelievable career. And I know when I spoke to him about Gateshead and when I joined, he said to me that what a great football club it is, and it was when he played. And he's told us that he was really looking forward to me representing the club as well. So I can only speak the highest of words for Graham.
Nice.
Well, he is a clever lad, Louis.
I know.
I've got a couple of questions, FA Vars questions. How nervous was the game against Corinthians, by the way?
That was pretty nervous. Do you know what it was? Before the game, we had the travel, and I can remember thinking to myself, wow, I'm just not feeling at it here today. It is in physically just after the travel, and it was obviously after such a break. We only had 3 weeks of training we were allowed to technically have before the game. And we built on the build up, and then adding that in, it was pretty nervous, to be honest with you. But as the start whistle was going, I kind of had to compose myself and say, listen, I'm gonna have to lead here, because some lads haven't been in this position before. In the game, what a game it was! Talk about character and how the lads got over the line is still kind of baffling to me, but we did it. And to be fair, it was like a final itself, to be honest with you, because obviously going down to 10 men, coming back from 1-0 to get obviously level and then win on penalties was an unbelievable day. But it was pretty nervous, obviously, because a lot of rode on it in terms of knowing how much the club wanted it and how much I wanted it personally. But we pulled through, and it was a great day.
And the second Vars question.
Go on.
Did Orca show you how to switch the lights off against Morpeth?
We can't talk about that, shall we? Don't put a lad in the spot. We'll go through it.
I don't know what you mean. I genuinely don't know what you mean.
You lying swine.
Mick Scully, was the move to Gateshead completely out the blue, or had it been discussed for a while?
It was out of the blue. To be honest with you, obviously, when Mike had in the club had made contact with Heaven, it was something that I didn't think was on the horizon because of my situation of contract at the time at Heaven. And do you know what? I don't to think that I was going to jump up 2-3 divisions was never. I don't think that's something that players tend to think of, especially maybe at my age as well, which is maybe a little bit. I don't know. Is it a bit on the older side to jump back into full-time football? Maybe. So yeah, it was a bit of out of the blue. But hey, I'm so delighted that it's happened because I'm loving every minute of it.
I think we're going to have to call you Prince Charming because you're having fairy tale after fairy tale. You're in there. Look at me.
I've been called
Prince Louis.
I should have to get on the back of your shirt. Another question. Mason Ford, he's put, what's it like playing with Alex Nicholson again?
Really good. Know Alex from obviously my time back in Newcastle. And then it's South Shields, and he's a really good friend of mine. Someone I think this last couple of years and what he's delivered for Gateshead shows the true potential of Alex Nicholson. And he's seen that in his early careers when he represented Wales at youth level. Kicked on quite well into the reserve setup at Newcastle, and then had his period at Blythe and South Shields, and potentially, in around that time, I think everyone that probably played with him, coached, managed him, knew that he was capable of a minimum professional and full-time football. And it's been great to watch from afar for the last couple of years. And he's someone that, I bounce off in terms of the sheer composure and confidence that he has. And also the
shift in position as well, because when he came, he was a right wing back, and then he filled in at centre back, and now you think he had played there all his career.
Well, exactly. And if you told me that Alex was playing centre back 2-3 years ago, oh wow, I don't think I would have seen that. But do you know?
I didn't either, Louis.
I know. But do you know what it is with Alex? Alex really does relish a challenge, and he backed himself in playing a right wing back and being an attack-minded player. But he probably would have loved, while coming back into full-time football, working with obviously people like Mike and Ian and the players that were had at the club, and trying to adapt his game to try and maximise his performance. He really would have thrived off that, and I know that he looks after himself in every other part of his of his game in terms of off the pitch, to make sure that he brings the best of Alex, and he's a good leader for the group there. Obviously, I know that he's vice captain, which is a great appointment.
I mentioned that was just announced today, which is fantastic. Well deserved. Well,
no, exactly. So I was going to say he's just a great mentor for the lads that are in the group.
And let you have one more question, and then I'll have one more, and then we can, because I think we've got Jacob joining us very shortly.
So where's the banter best, in the Heaven dressing room or Gateshead's dressing room? Which one's the most fierce?
Who's the most fierce in the banter front? Ooh, good question. To be fair, I would back Nicker. Nicker's got a good bit of character also as well. Listen, if you step out of line, he'll tell you. You know what I mean? He's just mind saying that in front of the group. So yeah, I'd go with Nicker. Nicker's a good lad. Good
so is it harsher here or at Heaven?
It's different change.
It's different. Or industrial, you mean?
He's great, and he's diplomatic. He knows how to avoid your questions. It's fantastic. Say, when you were at Newcastle, I'm guessing, if my calculations are right, Mike would have still been involved at Newcastle when you were part of the youth setup there. Then,
yeah.
So the question I was going to lead into with that is: it strange finding yourself obviously working alongside him, under him, after watching him in the first team when you were in the youth team?
Yeah, obviously 9 years ago he was representing Newcastle, and he represented what was the pinnacle for me at that time in terms of being a youth team player, wanting to break through. And obviously you train, you would go and rather train alongside the first team, or you go and watch the first team, and he was living and breathing the dream that I wanted. So there was a moment where I was like, oh, this is a bit strange, obviously, and it's full circle almost. But it's great, and to be able to maybe, fair enough, not learn off him at Newcastle, but now learn off him at Gateshead on a different kind of chapter in my football career is fantastic.
Certainly is. Well, Lewis, we'll let you go. Thank you. You've been absolutely fantastic. As I say, welcome to the club. We hope you really enjoy it, and we're looking forward to seeing what you can do. And as I say, enjoy Saturday, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll come back with something.
I'll see you Saturday, Louis.
Yeah, I'll see you too, and I'll listen out for the song. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wildy.
Thank you very much.
Best of luck for the season, bud.
Cheers.
Bye.
Appreciate it. Enjoy your night. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Cheers.
And there we go. Lewis Story, absolutely fantastic, lovely lad. I didn't expect anything less, but I say it talked to him longer than I thought we might have done, because say sometimes guests just want to have a little chat and disappear, but I think we could have had him on all night, and would have gladly had him. But hopefully we'll have Jacob Chapman join us very shortly here on the Heed Army podcast. Thank you for all your messages as well. Another little side note: if you are going down to Leamington and you get some footage or anything, if you'd like to send it to us, we'll put it in the podcast. If you want to, record your day and we can use it, we'll put it out on the next show. Say it's your show. It's all about that. We want fans to be fully interactive, and the amount of messages we've had tonight has been absolutely fantastic. The guests so far: Ian Watson, if you just joined us, and Lewis Story there, so you can watch this back and listen to it as well if you are just joining us. But please do like and subscribe, follow us on all the social medias, and say hopefully we can reach more people on a match day, and that is what it's all about, Mickey. And after speaking to Busted, he's always great value, but speaking to Lewis there, he's got me pumped up. I'm really, just positive vibes. You can back up these days.
Dave, I'm not blowing smoke up the lad's backside, but he's all of it throughout this pre-season. He's become an absolute fan's favourite already.
Well, I'll freely admit, I didn't want to say it when he's on, because you don't want to feel like obviously blowing smoke up someone's backside by saying he's been fantastic. I covered the games when he was for, I think it was 2 or 3 games for Hebben when Gates had helped out with the streaming service, obviously because of the COVID restrictions at the time, and their FA Vars run, the one where they got the quarterfinals, not the final. And Lewis obviously stood out. He was the captain. He was just dominating at the back and fantastic. Did I see him moving up the Gateshead? Did I see him being of the caliber? But then again, at the same time, I couldn't help but notice him watching, and Mike Williamson in the stands watching, So they obviously seen something. They've got a better footballing brain than us. Of course, Mike has. He's played at a higher level. Yeah, he's played. I haven't played.
I know that.
But they've seen something. They obviously looked at the bigger picture and seen his coaching aspect as well. That adds to the table. And, he stepped up. He's in, much like Campbell, back into full-time football when they probably thought that had left them behind, that dream of it. And, that local lads as well, that's the other thing. All the boxes are ticked, and just, as Ian Watson said, the proof's in the pudding, and hopefully we can get off to a good start and have a good season. But all the pointers are pointing towards something, that's going to be nice and enjoyable for the fans, and hopefully the club can grow.
I'm really, really excited. I mean, Louis is one of the players I've really liked in pre-season who's come in. I like Adam Campbell. One player that has absolutely got me really excited is Kedwin. He has been outstanding, that lad.
Well, I don't know if it's out yet, but if you do follow Mark Crowers on social media, his podcast is going to be out soon. Northern Goals. I don't know if it's came out today or coming out tomorrow. I made a guest appearance on there, and I spoke about Campbell because, as I say, nippy striker. When he came to us, we kind of put the ball over the top and expect him to run onto it one-on-one with the keeper. That was the kind of way we used him to an extent when he came on that loan stint. And I was kind of expecting more of the same, and having Kedwin as a big man to aim to, and obviously Blackett playing the way he does on the shoulder. And it's all been flipped upside down. My preconceptions is that Kedwin he's a bustling, busy striker. He's not just a target man. He's got a bit of pace. He can move.
He's got goals in him as well.
Got goals, got great control. Campbell I'm looking forward to seeing him play as just as much as Kedwin, because he's dropping deep, he's getting involved in the build-up play, he's dragging defenders away. It's not just about him being up there as a goal threat. He's doing jobs for the team, and I love to see a striker do that. I love to see a striker. The best player I've ever seen, and people laugh, who could move a defender.
Jacob Chapman there.
He isn't yet. No, the best, but Peter Crouch, because of his size. I remember going to a game at Newcastle and being up in the gods and seeing his movement, and him just taking a step to the left, moved the whole defence to the left. They were worried about where he was going to go because of his threat. And we're seeing that with Kedwin and Campbell, because they're moving, the defence is trying to second guess. So, but yeah, super exciting. And on the back of that is Macaulay Langstaff
as well.
Paul Blackett. Then you've got the players in behind, like Ollie, who's diving into the box, and with the wing backs that's getting up. It's very exciting, very exciting. So we're hoping Keeper Chapman can join us. As I say, we'll hang on another 5 minutes. We normally finish about 10, but lots of viewers still listening in and watching, should I say. So if you want to send any messages in, any predictions for the game on the weekend, I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Gateshead. Fingers crossed.
I'd like to see it. I'm one of these. I'd love to see we get the 3 points. 2-1. I'd take a point now, Dave. I really would. Away from home, I'll always take a point.
It's a tough place to go. I think our last 2 visits there have ended in a draw. It'll be a good benchmark to see where we are. Yeah, good test.
Themselves, to be fair, I was looking the other day.
You know where it is? The league. Bus did mention the 700 players that were full-time professionals last year without a club. There is a lot of drop down the level below us into the Northern Premier League. The amount of Football League strikers that were scoring goals regularly in the Football League last season are in that league below. And, obviously South Shields, I think they're going to be in for they're not going to walk it, but I think they'll be up there. But there's a lot of teams that have strengthened with high quality strikers in that league.
Look, man, you've got to look at Failed, signing Paul Mullen. He's finished top scorer with Cambridge last season. Yeah,
there's been some interesting moves about. Of course, we know Boston, Fylde, York, all these teams are going to be there or thereabouts, and just hopefully we can get a good start and get in the mix and stay there all season. Who knows? Maybe a cheeky cup run at Old Trafford or something like that. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? But it certainly would. We've got a message from David Tron. I've been very impressed with Kedwin, Adam Campbell so far. Our forwards look like they're on the same wavelength. It's so very exciting. It is. I mean, even that when Blackett comes off the bench, I mean, his goal he scored against Newcastle was a real touch of class. He took composure and just slotted it past the oncoming keeper. And it's just really, really exciting. But see, we'll give it another couple of minutes, and hopefully Jacob can join us. Who knows? He might be having technical problems. We know Ian Watson did. So we'll give it another couple of minutes. But if you want to send in your predictions for the weekend, and please remember, do share the show. We want to reach as many people as possible. The views are going up, the subscribers are going up, which is fantastic. We want to get as many people involved, and that is just what it's about, isn't it, Mickey? There's no airs and grace about it. We know that on a match day, there's 800 potentially on an average gate getting into that Tyne and Weir stand. We'd like to get a good few hundred of them watching throughout the week, if not all of them. That'd be great.
The ambition is to try and get regular crowds of over 1,000.
Exactly. We would just want everyone to come along, see what it's like. That's why hopefully we can, obviously when the season starts properly, we can play out highlights. There'll be more club interviews that are put up. We can share them, talk to people that will want to progress the show, to be able to progress, to show fans that, it's all happening here at Gateshead. We've got a message here from Lewis Wilkinson. Evening, lads. How are we feeling ahead of the season opener away at Leamington on Saturday? I'm feeling...
Kid on Christmas Eve, Lewis. I'm telling you.
We go into it with more than a fighting chance. That's the way you've got to look at it. But the biggest win is that we're there with fans and it's a proper league game. That's the big win to take away from it. Of course, we want to get points, want to bring something back from it. But just for a sport and everyone that loves football, that's the win this weekend.
Sounds like there's going to be a fair few down there as well, by the sounds of it, Davey. Which is going to be great for the lads.
Also, as well, if you want to search for the Gated Soul, He'd Travel as well on Twitter. I think they might have some spaces left. If you do want to travel down to Leamington, do that. Follow all of Gated Sea's social media as well. We'll give a little plug as well to, the strips are still available, the new ones. There we go. There's the home strip. A little bit of a little flash of the sponsors there on it. There's the away strip. Available. Get on the Gateshead FC website. You'll see the links to go and buy it and get yourself representing on a match day or just on the high street, wherever you want to do it, whether you're on the Costa Brava or Bencham.
Costa Brava or the Costa del Bencham, eh?
Yeah, Costa del Bencham. And can't wait to get down there, win, lose, or draw, have it back to something special. Couldn't agree more. Well, there we go. David Trons put 2-1 win as well. He fancies. Mason Ford has put 1-0 away. Cheeky 92nd minute winner. Ooh, he wants. I didn't want it that tight. I had 2-0 at half time. Let one in 55 minutes. There we go. We'll see it out.
No, I'm sick of doing that because you just bite your nails to bits.
And there was stories coming. I thought they said I was good, and he's on the boot was letting one in on 55 minutes. Well, on that note, a big thank you to everyone. We've kept the viewers up right through this. Thank you very much. Say apologies that weren't on the last few weeks. It was just illness and family illness. We will be back next week, hopefully talking about a win in the National League North and previewing the Kettering game after that as well. Mickey, as I say, it's been a long slog these last 18 months doing the podcast when fans haven't been there, trying to get people to talk. It's been tough. It's been fun at times, but it's just nice to have it back to a little bit of normality.
It feels like we're getting normality back with football. Let's hope we can get a full season. Please, let's hope we can get a full season.
Yeah, let's see. We've got through a full show without mentioning the C word. And we'll leave the last message of the show to Christopher Story, wishing the Heat all the best at Leamington on Saturday. Looking forward to Kettering a week on Saturday. I'm guessing that might be a relative of Lewis, and hopefully he come across well. For years, he did. He was mint, wasn't he? Really good. I think I'm gonna get a Lewis Story on the back of that. I'm gonna get a Lewis Story tattoo on me back. Right. I'm just going big portrait. It's fantastic. I say just a pity Jacob couldn't make it tonight, but Ian Watson was great as well. Massive thank you to both Ian and Lewis for joining us tonight. If you are traveling down, please be safe, enjoy the game, and next week, tell us about the win here on the Heat Army Podcast Live. And remember, share the show and let other Gated fans and maybe non-Gated fans, local people, let them find out what this is all about. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Davey.
Yeah.
Are you still on?
Yep. What do you want to say?
Just going to say, we've got our first away game next week. We're looking forward to our first competitive home game we can actually watch.
I know. Well, that's what we're going to big up next week. So we'll do it then. Rightio. We'll see you next time. Bye.
See you later.